Lecture objectives. Explain how the market segmentation is used in the financial industry. Describe the requirements for effective target market segment selection. Lecture outline. We look at the introduction to market segmentation, benefits of pitfalls and segmentation, common segmentation variables, requirements for effective target market selection, evaluation market segments, select market segments. Introduction. What is market segmentation? Customers are not identical. Different motivations, each customers have different motivations, needs, and behaviors. For example, personal and business client. So basically, personal client and business client have different banking needs. Right? So, for example, a personal client will want a saving account, right? Compared to business client will prefer a trade finance. And trade finance will not, most likely will not make sense for a personal client because trade finance is usually used for business purpose. So the bank will divide markets into segments based on common characteristics. This relating to the buying behaviors. More focusing on the relating to buying behaviors. More related to buying behaviors. Enables specific marketing mix strategy to be tailored for a target group. So we develop a right product or service for the target markets. Groups can be selected or reached with a specific marketing mix. Develop right product or service for a target market. You need to adjust the prices, distribution channel, and advertising so as to reach the target segment efficiently. So usually the bank will divide a market into homogeneous groups. So within one market, there will be some within there are groups within certain, there are some subgroups will be homogeneous. So any groups may be selected and reached with a distinct marketing mix. Let's look at the benefits and pitfalls of market segmentations. Under this, there are three areas to look at. There are benefits to the organization, benefits to customer, and pitfalls. Benefits to organization. There are four areas we're looking at. There increases the profitability, enables effective monitoring of target markets, facilitates development of staff expertise, and enables new market niche to be identified. Increased profitability. Sales increase. The market mix is more effective in reaching out to the right group, the market segment. The right service targeted at the right segments. They will be more effective in pricing and more compact from the customized promotional messages. So the customized focus on a certain group of people. And the delivery network can be refocused. So effectively, they're making the whole thing more effective. As a result, increased profits. Developments of staff expertise. Specialists can be used for each major segment. So as staff develop expertise in each segment, so the more specialized, the staff develop, it can help to improve the bank's image. Not just that, as the staff get better at it, they know how to reach out to the customer, their own customer, their market segment effectively and efficiently, and using the most effective way and the most efficient way to reach to them. Identify new market niches. So banks may profit by creatively serving a market niche whose needs are not fully met by competitors. So OCBC's Frank is one a good example. In the past, youth somehow is being neglected, okay, by most of the banks. So OCBC Frank take out this opportunity to meet this need, carve out a niche for themselves. Okay, and the competitors at that point in time did not really focus on the youth. Okay. Benefits to customer. If the exercise is successful, a customer will receive the right product and available at the right time, the right place, at the right price, and distributed in the most user-friendly manner. This is important because as a customer, we want all this. We want the right products, the right price, the right place, the right price, and the most friendly to us, at our convenience as from a customer point of view. This disadvantage to the banks. Disadvantages to the bank. First, they could miss out on potential businesses. Okay, when they focus too much on if by simply ignore certain market niches, certain market segments, is a cutthroat competition out there. Increased risk. Let's look at common segmentation variables. Common segmentation variables. There are 4 variables here. They are geographical, demographic, psychographic, and behavioristic. Let's look at the first variable, geographic. Divide basically the banks divide the market by location. This is more related to the bank branch strategy. So, for example, a branch or a group of branches is given a specific area to serve. Next, we look at the next variable, demographic. It divides on the basis of population characteristics, such as age, gender, income, occupation, education, family size, and family life cycle. This variable is most commonly used by the banks. Reasons are because the customer's wants, preferences, and usage rates are often associated with this demographic variable. It's easier to measure and match well with many financial products and services. The demographic features, there are 4 features here. Life cycle, age, income, and gender. Let's look at the first one, life cycle. Life cycle recognize that a person's needs depends on whether he or she is single, young, married, with children, or retired. Basically, at different stages of your life, your need changes. Let's look at common segmentation variables. Variable, psychographic. It is based on lifestyle and personality. The lifestyle is a distinct ways of living that are reflected in activities and interests. It depends what type of lifestyle you want. You want to have a higher level of lifestyle, yeah, probably going to spend a bit more. Next, we look at personality. This is based on self-image and self-concepts. Verbal, behavioristic. It aims to provide consumer benefits and to generate long-term customer satisfactions. Involve grouping by the user's status, usage levels, and different benefit sorts by customers. Requirements for effective target market selection. Requirements for effective target market segmentation. There are many possible characteristics of buyers, but the banks has limited resources. The bank has to be very selective in choosing criteria for the market segmentation. The criteria for effective market segmentation are measurable, accessible, substantial, actionable, not already saturated. These are the 5 criteria. First criteria, measurable. Degree of information on buyer characteristics. It first foremost must exist. This information must exist. If it does not exist, then there's no point of finding. If the information does not exist, then it cannot be measured at all. First, it must exist. Next, it must be cost effective to obtain. Because such information, banks have to spend money to obtain such information. And must be possible to measure the size of the segment. Right? Next criteria, accessible. Degree to which chosen market segments can be reached effectively by advertising and through the distribution channel. Right? It has to be reached by both, not all, but both advertising and distribution system. Next criteria, substantial. Segment must be large and profitable enough to merit specialized marketing efforts. Because devising different marketing approaches is expensive. And target markets must generate sufficient and profitable volume for the bank. Next criteria, actionable. Segment might be measurable, substantial, and accessible. But the bank must have the sufficient resources or even skill or network or anything, okay, to serve that segment. So network, resources, money, uh, means, access to the country, because some segment could be in a foreign country where the country do not allow the bank to access. So there's the difficulty there. Okay, so the bank must have access. So the resources such as including staff strength and other resources. The last criteria, not already saturated. The bank should look for market segments that is not saturated with competitors. Because market segment already saturated with competitors requires the bank taking customer away from the competitors. It is hard for the bank to snatch customer than to feel an unmet need or incompletely met need. Evaluating market segments. After the market is segmented, organization or bank has to evaluate various segments to look at each one of them and decide which one to target. So target which segments. There are three factors to consider when evaluating the segments. First, segment size and growth. Second, segment structural attractiveness. Third, organization objectives and resources. Selecting market segments. Selecting market segments. After evaluating different segments, organization must decide how many segments to serve. So basically, a bank decide how many segments to serve. Look at, for example, OCBC Frank. They decide to serve the youth segment, so they'll focus on the youth segment. And which segment to serve? Okay, so basically, OCBC have one segment, and they still focus on the youth. And use which marketing strategy? Will be a differentiated marketing strategy or a concentrated marketing strategy. Design a separate marketing strategy for different market segments is based on their different needs of the different segments. For example, a young person needs is different from a person who is retiring, or even the needs of a newly wedded couple is different from a person who is starting a new family. So the needs will be different. In the process, hope to obtain stronger position within each segment. This helps to strengthen the consumer's overall identification with the organizations.